Hello. I don't edit videos, so because I'm lazy. So what I'm going to do is try and do this in one take, and I'm going to tell you how I nearly lost an eBay sale for over £1,000 um, last month, basically in January. So let's go back to the start. I found a book online, and it cost me over £100. I did some research on it and I felt it was tremendously undervalued. So I bought it straight away. It arrived, it was pristine, it looked great. I put it on sale, put it on, did I put it on auction? I think I did, on auction. And a week later, it sold for over £1,200. I was ecstatic. However, there were reasons where I was cautious. My previous biggest sale before that was around £700. I was stressed the whole week it arrived, but it arrived there fine. There was no issues whatsoever. But I was terrified about this book. I had put a lot of money into it as opposed to the other things I bought, which were um, basically under £20, and I'd sold it for well over that. But this time I'd actually put a lot of money into this one. So it sold for £1,200. Immediately, I always go straight to the seller profile and see the buyer profile and see who did it, and they had zero feedback. And they made the account last week, and they lived in America, and the profile had a hyphen. I hate all those things. So I had a big concern. I could already see that sales of this book were already dropping. So I had to make a choice whether to trust eBay and the global shipping program, which had let me down in the past, but not to any extent of £1,200. It was just merely a few pounds, or to cancel, lose some credibility on my profile, put it back on sale, and hope for the best. So I decided to stick with it. I emailed the customer and said, "Listen, I don't really like sending this amount of value to a zero feedbacks buyer. Can you just give me a message to say that, you're genuine? I know it doesn't mean anything, but can you just talk to me?" No response. I went ahead. I took pictures of every conceivable angle of the book, sent them in a message to him. "Is this okay? I'm about to send it via UPS. It should be there for Christmas." No response. I paid extra compensation for UPS just in case it went missing. They picked it up, watched it tracking. It arrived a couple of weeks later on Christmas Eve. No response. I gave him a message a week later saying, "I hope you're happy with it. If you give me some positive feedback, I'll happily send you like a voucher for £20 as goodwill for being that kind of a high value customer." No response. Cut to 3 days before the returns period, he messages out the blue. "This edition is not the edition that you said it was. It is a standard edition. I can see that it's signed, but it's not the edition you said. Please get in contact with me via email or by phone. I'm eager to have this sorted. I'm a reasonable guy." That's what he said. So I flipped the fuck out. I messaged him based on what he'd said. It didn't sound true because there's two different editions basically, and he couldn't have one or not the other in the way that he was suggesting. So I asked him to send pictures. He sent me a picture of it. It still looked fine to me. There was no damage. But he said, "This is not the edition. Please get in touch with me via this email or phone." And I know you can't do that on eBay. So I rang eBay up. I was like, "Please, look at my ticket, look at my messages. What do you reckon?" They agreed. "Don't email this person. Don't go outside of the ecosystem." They said, "He hasn't put a return request in. He's just asking you via message. So technically, he hasn't asked for a refund yet. You just need to survive these last 3 days." So, in a roundabout way, eBay suggested stalling them basically and keep asking for more and more evidence, because they said the more messages and images they put up on the message board, the stronger my case will be if it goes to that kind of tribunal, so to speak, which it would. They said for that kind of money, it would go to a senior manager. So then I thought I'll ask him for this one image which can't be replicated. He either has it or he doesn't have it. I wanted him to take a picture of 2 pages next to each other, which would prove it was either my copy or a completely different copy. And I waited, and another day went past. We were on the final day. He emails again. Oh, I apologise. I got it wrong. I ordered 10 of these and I just mislaid it. My wife's just found your copy. Sorry about that. By the way, do you want to buy any of my signed books? So I was just gobsmacked. I mean, I was happy because he'd done this in the message, so it looked like it was going to go my way. I was like, I'm not getting in. I'm glad you found it. I'm not getting into anything until you give me some positive feedback, because I feel like you've put me through the ringer. He did. And then he said, what about these books? And I said, I'll have a think about it. And I let those 2 days go past. And now, obviously, I'm free and clear. I already had the money in the account for a month, but eBay technically could have took it back. So, what have I learned? I suppose this video is about lessons. I felt like I had no choice but to send this, because if I want to improve and want to get better at what I'm doing, I need to send items of this value and not let it worry me. I need to trust eBay. I took as many pictures as I could, but essentially they said, you can't prove you put it in that, you can take all the pictures you want, but you can't prove you put it in that box unless you actually videotape yourself taking it and putting it in. And even then, I couldn't have proved it was in the parcel. But they would take all things into account, like your reputation and your feedback, and make a judgment. So, what I'm going to be doing from now on with stuff like this, I'm going to be sending them images of the item with their label next to it to prove that I actually had the item to begin with, and try and get them to reply to me saying, yeah, that looks fine, great. And then obviously I package it great, it'll be tracked. But yeah, that is the story of how I nearly lost £1,000. It is my biggest sale. It is the reason my coffers are a lot better than they were before that sale. And yeah, welcome back to YouTube. I'm not going to be editing this because I haven't got the time. I just want to list and sell and list and sell. So I'm going to use my finger right now. I'm going to push this button. It's going to look really amateur, but thanks for watching. Subscribe, although I hardly post. Like, comments, give me your own experiences over what's happened with you and high value items on eBay. Hope you liked it. I'll make a big flashy title and hopefully people can watch this and revel in my joy that this I went through. See you later.